Hey, I'm John Scoble, and this is Chase the Heat. You know what? I was doing a few things in the backyard while I was getting ready. So while you guys have been kind of climbing in, the sun is just cooking my laptop. But now I got the sun strategically blocked, so I should be okay. Mr. and Mrs. B, how good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hello, Ann G. There you are. It's beautiful here. Hi, A. Kenneth. Good to see you. Ruthless Reaper. Loved that sauce today. Love all the sauces you've been doing. Jason P. Good afternoon. There's my man. What do you say, Tracy? The Silver Surfer. Michelle's there. Hi, Michelle. Hello, Tin Man. I just got the phone with Bree. You know, it's funny. Somebody made a really great comment. I did a video today. Bizzle, good to see you. Dances with comic books. And Christopher Kelly. Scott Lister. Gabba Gabba. I did a video today where I got an email. It was a funny email. This person said that they heard a rumor somewhere that I funded Superhots. And their argument was that if you read the description of the episodes, it kind of sounds like the Johnny Scoble show. And I didn't plan any of this, you know. And they said that they Googled my name and my net worth is absurd on the internet. It's not, none of it's true. But this person, someone made a really cool comment, a couple of really nice comments about it. People were really, really cool. But one of the best ones, they said, man, I'm pretty sure if Johnny had $6 million, he'd already be with Bree. And man, oh man, is that the truth. But that's coming soon. Hi, Chad Matthews. Good to see you. Balaki Anderson. Good to see you. Hi, Ken Lofgren. Hello there. I'm good today, Tin Man. I appreciate you asking. I hope you are. Bizzle, my dude. Zach Peterman, Mr. Zach Peterman. I like the show trailer. Thank you. It's pretty cool. Andreas Larson, hello there from Sweden. You know, I fell in love with Sweden when I was a kid. I always wanted to go there. And I didn't find out until literally when I started my channel that Sweden is one of the places where it's tremendous stretches of sunlight and tremendous stretches of darkness. I'm not sure if it's 6 months of each, but it's like, and that's interesting. I didn't know that. Jason P. Moral of the story: do not believe everything you read on the internet. It's really funny. One of them, there's 4 different websites I found that have my net worth, which is not. I mean, I don't have a net worth, but one of them, and I'm telling you the truth, one of them says I'm worth $19.2 million. It's unbelievable. Bizzle, you got it. I'll hook you up as soon as we got off this stream. Mad Max. Well, Johnny, you rock. Thank you. Love your work. It means a lot to me. Thank you for saying that. I like your videos, says Tin Man. Thank you. Feels like I'm in a movie theater waiting for the previews to start. I'm excited about this. You know, the funny thing is, I thought for the longest time, I guess, I don't know, it says the 22nd is the day it launches, but I'm seeing it's the 21st at 10 o'clock. I don't know. We'll find out. Happy Sunday to you, too, Mr. Robert Springs. Thank you for saying that. Now that movie star Chili. He spelled Chili head wrong. Hippie check. Forget about it. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And Fiona, I'm priceless, John. Thank you for saying that. My youngest has made me reply to the Super Hot trailer so many times. Or replay, excuse me. He's 3 and calls it Spicy Daddy's Friends. How cool, Ian. It is pretty cool. You know, almost everybody in it are people that I've known over the years in the industry. You know what I mean? It was fun. We were at Vic Klinko's house, and this is in the. Should be talking about that. I don't think it's in any of. I'm not going to talk about that. It's not in. If it's something that you can read in one of the titles of the videos, I don't mind talking about it because you can read about it a little bit. But this is something that's not written about, and I kind of don't want to get myself in trouble. But The bottom line is there was a group, and we were all sitting down, and in this one group there was just such an amazing array of just amazing people in the chili community. It was very, very cool to be able to sit there with them. It was an amazing feeling. These are all great people. Where's my brother? My brother's right on the other side of the glass there. He might be doing a live stream later, or he may not be. More greetings from Sweden. Man, I think I just need to go to Sweden. I don't know. D. Hendricks, good to see you. Spicy caramel corn sounds good. Say my VHS tape recorder, says Mr. and Mrs. B. Listen, VHS, man. People are like, what's that? What did he say? VHS? I remember. Casey, hit the like button, everybody. Help him get his first million. Watch Seinfeld when George is lying. The first one's the hardest, they say. They're right. I don't care about money. That's the thing. You know what's really cool? If you don't care about it, here's the truth of it. The only time I start to care about money is if I'm having trouble paying my bills. As long as my bills are paid, I feel super rich. I don't need things, Things don't make you happy. My father said something interesting. That sticks with me. He goes, sometimes the wanting of something is almost better than getting it. Kind of interesting, isn't it? It's kind of interesting to think about. I really enjoyed seeing some of my friends in the Hulu commercial, right? It's very, very cool. What a wonderful experience then for all of us. Listen, I just feel so lucky that I'm a part of it. You have no idea, man. Hey, listen, Tracy, when I started the channel like almost 8 years ago, if I had said to somebody, if I made a post on Facebook and said, hey, fast forward 7 years, there's going to be a reality show about the chili community, and a lot of you and me, we're all going to be in it, they would have thought I bumped my head. You know what I mean? So it wasn't even something so the fact that it's happening at all is such a cool thing. I'm looking at a bee. What a beautiful creature. I'm telling you. Here is a jar of plant food. And if you look on the side, there's a bee moving around on it right there. What a gorgeous creature. For real. Look at it. Leave him alone now. Anyhow, the idea that the chili community has grown to where it's at is pretty spectacular. Look, chill. I left you alone. Back away. Lego, good to see you, man. Question from my man Bizzle. In the show, did you eat any new peppers that you never had before? Yes, I did. Sure did. Good question. Can I tell you what they are? Oh. I know nobody asked that, but I'm thinking that in my head. Can I tell you what they are? Probably not. I'm not going to tell you what they are. Oh, no. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell you. The JP Piranha. I had never eaten one of those. I ate one of those in the show. I ate a bunch of those in the show. That's a good question. Whatever happened to little David, says Christopher Kelly. Good question. Asked Christopher Kelly. College boy, he got really busy in his life. And his life wasn't going to be a content creator. Some people, it's a thing, and he had a flash and he enjoyed it. Here's the thing: I tried towards the last couple months that I was in Fort Mill. I tried to get him to make videos with me, and he was just too busy, and we weren't able to connect. So, but we love him, and we whatever he's doing, I'm sure he's crushing it. He's a great guy. Dennis Brace, good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Dorsey, good to see you. Did Dorsey ask a question? Because I see a question mark there. I didn't see it, Dorsey. I'm sorry if you asked a question. If I go back up, I'll lose my place here. Snowing cats and dogs where Lego is. Jeez. Johnny, do you miss your old flat? And what's your plan for the future? Joseph Ruskin, a terrific question. I don't miss my old place at all. Not even in the slightest. I miss the people there. Big O is great. I love Big O. I miss seeing Foy every day. I miss the office, all the people at the office, Donnie, Christina, all of them. I miss them all. So, yeah, I miss that part of it. But as far as the flat, I don't miss it all. As far as the future, here's a weird thing. I'm in a weird spot where it's kind of hard to plan my future. I can tell you what I want to have happen. We're going to I want there would be an amazing season 2, and we'd like to film it in Australia. So after I'm going to hire in the next month or so, I'll be hiring an attorney that specializes in foreign travel and passports and uh, visas and things of that nature. And I have a letter already from the producer of the show that says to the consulate in Australia, saying we would like to film there. Let our boy in. So I got a bunch of things, ammunition in my gun now. So the future is going to be me being in Australia. I'm going to spend summers here are absurd. They're so hot. They're like you can fry stuff outside. So I don't plan on being here in the summers. So I'm going to spend some of my time there, some of my time here, most of my time there. Um, I can't confirm that there's going to be a season 2, but I hear things. I'm hearing things. So, but here's the truth of it. Let's say hypothetically, let's just say hypothetically, this was a show that was going to run for 5 years. I'm only doing 3 of them. I promise you. If it was a show that was going to go for 10 years, I'm only doing 3 of them. That's how it works. And that's if it were to really have a run. Because I don't want to be doing that forever. What I want to do is I want to be with Bree and make movies, and make videos, and eat hot stuff. And there's a million amazing places to show on location, and that's what I want to do. Do I know Jesse Tyler Ridgway? Two man asked, do I know Jesse Tyler Ridgway? I should have read that in my dome piece before I read that out loud. I'm not sure. I can't. I have to do a little research. I'm not positive. I know a lot of people named Jesse. So, what characters would your Dream Pepper have? What character? You mean characteristics, Mr. and Mrs. B? Would my Dream Pepper have? Here's the funny thing. I love scary hot peppers. I do. I like a burn that scrambles your thought, makes you have a hard time thinking and putting words together. I love that. It doesn't happen from one pepper. It happens from eating a bunch of them. But so my Dream Pepper would be so hot it would give you the kind of that scrambled brain you get after eating a dozen of them from one pepper. It's not going to happen. That's my Dream Pepper. It would be fruity. 2 years ago I would have told you it would have been a yellow pod. Now I don't know. It could be a chocolate pod. It's just bitter and floral, and I love peppers. Anthony Beatty says no relation to Wilbur Scoville. This is my stage name. When I started the channel, all right, I have a daughter who's a diver. Was a diver. At the time, she was a very young girl, and it was funny. She wasn't a diver always; she was a swimmer. And her mom and I were divorced. I never called my kid's mom my ex-wife. That's so disrespectful. She's my kid's mom forever. You know what I mean? Now my last wife, that's my ex-wife. But my kid's mom, she called me one day. She goes, you gotta come get the kids. It was my turn to have them. She's like, you gotta talk to your daughter. She wants to quit swimming. She was on the swim team. I was like, what? Wants to quit swimming? I said, so I got on the phone. I said, dude, what's going on? She goes, Daddy, I want to quit swimming. I said, we don't quit. It's a 4-letter word. We don't quit stuff. I said, why do you want to quit? She goes, because I want to dive instead. I went, why do you want to dive? She goes, this is what she said. She goes, because I'll never get hurt swimming. That's my little girl. There was no danger in swimming. And she loved the danger aspect of diving. So I said to her, listen, here's the deal. You got to finish out the season because you made a commitment to your friends and everybody. But afterwards, after the season's over, you can quit and start diving. So she did. She honored her commitment, which was great. She learned something, a valuable lesson in life, which was great. She went on to become a great diver. But I went to college on it with a full 4-year scholarship. She's about to graduate in May in pre-med. Today, she takes her MCAPs. Or no, excuse me, she took them yesterday, her MCAPs. My daughter is amazing. At any rate, at the time, if you Googled her, every picture of her is her on a diving board. So I changed my name to Scoville. So you can't find my daughter. It worked. You guys haven't found my daughter. Proud of that. Her leg Her foot appears once in a video from behind. We're making a video and her foot popped up. That's it. Hey, big old, listen, Uncle Bull Cow is in the chat today. I want everybody to say a giant happy birthday to Mr. Bull Cow. It is his birthday today. And what I'd like to do, you know what we can all do? Man, this thing's going to cook my computer. The sun is just cooking my computer. I wonder if I can keep doing this. If it gets weird, I'll turn it off. But here's what I'd like everybody to do for Bull Cow for his birthday. Do you guys know? I mean, he makes great sauces. You guys have seen me do his sauces. Great challenges. I'm not sure if every one of you guys know Uncle Bull Cow has a YouTube channel. If somebody with a wrench could post Uncle Bull Cow, his the link to his YouTube channel in the chat here, I would like everybody that's here, if you haven't already, go over and subscribe to it. If you haven't already, I want everybody to go subscribe to Uncle Bull Cow, because Uncle Bull Cow is just a wonderful. You know, I said to him today, I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but it's funny. I know a million people. I do. I have a million people that I would say that I would call friends, but I got a handful that I really, really trust. And I'll tell you what, Uncle Bull Cow is one of those. You know, he's just one of those guys. Not something I have to ever question. Bizzle's like that. He's also here. There's probably a bunch in the chat here. However, it is his birthday today, and he's just a wonderful human being. And if you guys could go over and subscribe to his channel, that really would be cool. Here's one thing you need to know about Uncle Bull Cow. There's his. Thank you, Bizzle. God, I love you, Bizzle. I'll talk about you in just a minute. Embarrass the crap out of you. Here's one thing about Uncle Bull Cow that is really great. There's a million people that make content. I'm just being honest now. There's a million people that make content about chilies. He's one of the guys I really enjoy watching. When I watch him, it's like I'm sitting in the room with him. It's not just because I've sat in the room with him and I know him, but he is so natural. What you see on the camera is exactly who you sit with when you're hanging with a guy, and I just love him for that. Bizzle, do you understand? I said to everybody, can somebody with a wrench throw the link up for Uncle Bull Cow? Bizzle did that. Do you guys understand something? Bizzle did that. Should I embarrass you, Bizzle? I'm going to anyway. I love Bizzle. He did that with a stylus in his mouth. Bizzle, 19 years ago, was in a motorcycle accident on a crotch rocket. He's so lucky to be alive. At any rate, he hasn't moved since. And he is in a bed and doesn't move. And he types everything with a stylus in his mouth. And he was able to get the link up faster than anybody else with their fingers. I love you, Bizzle. Bizzle's another one of those guys. For real, you don't never have to worry about him. I'm so lucky. Let me tell you something. You have no idea how lucky I am. You know, Neo Fighter, I love you. Thank you for that. Thank you for your super chat. But one of the things when you start a channel, I said this recently. I guess I say it because I'm blown away by it. Daily. Here's how it feels to me. When I started the channel, as it got bigger and everything, it became a scratch-off lottery ticket. The channel is every single day. I wake up, and some days nothing spectacular happens. Some days something happens that just makes it go, oh. You know, meeting Bizzle, you know, and you know, Bull Cow, and so many people that are in the chat. Here's the crazy thing. People that are in the chat that I'll never even meet make me feel like that. But those are the crazy things, the little perks about being a YouTuber that they don't tell you about. You know? Look at all those people who have subscribed to you. Isn't that fantastic? Dread, good to see you. Jen Marie, thanks for being here. Hi, Levi. Look at Bizzle. We love you, man. Seriously, mad respect for Bizzle. You have no idea. If you guys had any, I got a friend in high school that I went to high school with. His name was Eric. And he fell out of a hotel room and hasn't moved since. He was on the balcony and fell off the balcony over 10 floors and lived, but he hasn't moved since. Neo Fighter, we love you, dude. We the Pepper people. Thank you so much. And I remember I've had long talks with this guy. Hippie chick, good to see you. Star Wars Ladybug. Anyhow, he's never complained. And I remember saying how super strong he was. And it's almost like, I remember talking to Bizzle, like, it's almost like He's such a strong person. God chose him to there's going to be so many people that are benefit in their life because of Bizzle. Like he's an inspiration. You know what I'm saying? So, but I've said to Biz, like my friend Eric, I've said this to Bizzle. He's been selected. It's like if you had any concept of how mentally strong, I think y'all can kind of dream of it. Just try to imagine yourself for a second how mentally strong that dude is. Blows me away. Yeah. Thank you, Phil McCracken. Good to see you. Thank you for everybody who went over there. Anthony Beat, everybody that subscribed to Uncle Bull Cow. He's such a great guy. You're gonna love. Here's the truth of it. I assume you guys haven't yet. You haven't seen his content. He's an amazing content creator. No, it wasn't Bull Cow, Christopher Kelly. Bull Cow's birthday's today, and I asked somebody to post Uncle Bull Cow's YouTube channel as a birthday present. And the first person who popped it up was Bizzle. He has a ranch. He's one of my moderators, one of my mods, and I just wanted to kind of give him props because I love him. I really do. Rick Spicer, good to see you. Another guy I'm mad respect for. Holy moly. Bizzle is humble as well as spectacular. Sweet Tea, good to see you. Near Tommy, he's back there somewhere. David F. Hello, everybody. Nice watch, Johnny. I love this watch. This was a gift from Tommy. You know what this is? This is one of the coolest gifts. It's my birth watch. This was made a month before I was born. And I'm telling you, it looks so much better than me. I wish the sun wasn't there. It looks a little better. It is a 1966 Omega Constellation Pie Pan crosshair. It's an 18 karat gold. That's a picture of the back of a constellation or of a observatory. Just a beautiful, beautiful watch. And it's in spectacular shape. It's really funny. When he first gave it to me, it's a beautiful gift. I mean, it's unbelievable. But when he gave it to me, it was running slow, about a couple minutes a week. A couple minutes a week. But it was running a little slow. I told him that, and he goes, "When you sleep, how do you put it? Because it's an automatic watch. There's no battery. It winds by the motion of your body." So he goes, "When you go to bed at night, how do you put it?" I said, "I put it on next to my bed, dial up." And he says, "Put it on something soft, but lay it at night, put it dial down." So now when I go to bed, I put it dialed down, and I swear to you, I never need to adjust it. It just keeps perfect time. Once in a blue moon, I'll make an adjustment, but I swear to you, it just keeps. And you know what? It is so pretty. It is such a pretty watch. Anyway, thank you, David. Jimbo, Johnny, I'm a long-time subscriber. Been asking you to try the sauce Wicked Tickle. Many are the best. I'll put that on my list. Wicked Tickle. Like the sounds of that. Thank you for being here, Jimbo. I appreciate that. And by the way, Neo Fighter, thank you so much for your super chats. That is so generous of you. I appreciate that. Blue Bus, 8 days away. That's right, man. 8 days away from the Blue Bus, Uncle Bull Cow. Thank you so much, dude. Jason P. also. Bunch of people. I want that black bus, says Bizzle. Bizzle, you're such a rebel, man. You really are. I watched him lose hair or get a white beard. Aged way better. Gordish, you're so right. It does, man. It looks. So I'm saying, honestly, I'm rough looking. One of your funny story. I was doing a video in Reno. I lived near this really great. I lived right on the river. The apartment was a scary place, and inside wasn't very good, but the location was unbelievable. How nice the location was. But I used to shoot in this place called Winfield Park, and I called it the zoo. Because let me tell you something. It was a zoo. No joke. It was a zoo. Anyway, I was walking to shoot a video one day. I did it by the river. Somebody shooted me in the river. It was a really great place to make videos. The Truckee. And one day this woman's walking towards me. And she has her kid. She looks at me. She grabs her kid and pulls her kid close to me and veers off. And I mean, it was right after looking at me. She looked at me, grabbed her kid, and ran off. I was like, wow. And I had a camera. Like, I have a bottle of sauce in my hand. But I have that scary look, so it is what it is. I get it. Here's the thing. I shave. I know what I am. I look at myself. One with cats. Man, oh man. Thank you for being here. Got a love that show. One with Cats. I am one with cats. Yesterday, uh, our cat, it's really my brother's cat, it's our cat, Squirrel. She uses my brother and I as a launching point to get to higher things in the house. A lot. Um, but usually she'll step onto me from something else to get onto something higher. But yesterday jumped from, she was on her little claw thing with a little basket on it. But still a good jump. And I was walking by and she just kind of jumped and landed on me. And the crazy thing is she doesn't use her claws. I've had cats my whole life. I'm a cat guy. I've had cats my whole life. And if you have cats, they're going to scratch you. It's part of the game. It comes with the territory. They're going to scratch you sometimes. I love cats. I love cats. But this cat is the first cat I've ever seen that has never scratched. You play her the belly and she'll put her paws out and act like but she doesn't scratch you. Her claws are never out. She'll mouth you like crazy, but she's never bitten hard. It's weird. And she'll jump from below and somehow get on my shoulder without going, 4-wheel drive on me, which I would do. I like, listen, if I had claws, I've seen videos of kittens that you go with a like a laser. You do this up a wall, they'll climb a wall. I would be that cat. Are you kidding me? If I had claws like that, forget about it. Ah, I love Squirrel too, generally. She's an amazing creature. Hippie chick, you don't scare me at all. I'll tell you what. You saw me in the park, you'd be like, "Oh my God, look at that guy." I get it. It's all right. I'm also 2 months off the blue bus. Lego, love you, dude. I can't wait. When I get there, my path will cross yours, and we will eat something hot. Henny, hi Henny. Good afternoon, Johnny. What a beautiful looking watch. Glad to be catching you live. By the way, awaiting this 22nd for a fiery good time. You guys will have to check it out. I don't know if it's the 22nd. I'm sure of it. I saw an email that said 21st at 10 p.m. Maybe that's really 2 hours before the 24th, or the 22nd. I mean, Jean-Marie cries BS on my scary thing. Listen. Here's the thing: you're biased because you've seen a few videos. You love my brother. That's the truth of it. Let's call it what it is. If you didn't know me, you didn't know Tommy, and I'm walking through a park and you see me, you're gonna be like, "Geez, I'm kind of scared looking." My other's keeper. I love that. I recommended your child to my niece who doesn't feel heat, just gets the flavor from chilies. I know 2 people that have that. To me, that's such a bummer. I feel so bad. One is somebody I used to compete with and told me he doesn't feel heat. And that, to me, that's like, when I heard that, I felt so bad for him. Like, oh, seriously. Like if tattoos didn't hurt, you think I'd have any? I really wouldn't. If peppers didn't burn, I'd probably still eat them because they taste good. But if you don't, the fact that they hurt and they burn, that is a huge part of what I love about peppers. Bizzle, my cat used to climb up Mom's back. She's too fat to do that now. You know what, Bizzle? Listen to this, man. My sister's got this cat named, I think it's Bezima. Listen, it's part Maine Coon, right? It doesn't have a tail. It's got a little stub of a tail, but it's part Maine Coon. I'm going to get a picture of it next time I'm over there. It is the widest cat. It's got to weigh 25 pounds. I'm being serious. Maybe a little more. It's a huge cat, but anytime somebody comes over, it's gone. Like before, listen, it hears things. When a car pulls in the driveway, it's like it jumps up from the counter to the top over this some shelves. There's a little space between the shelves and the ceiling, about that much. And that cat, that fat, giant, amazing looking creature. You see the character of this cat's face. He is amazing looking. But that cat, Bizzle, can jump from the countertop. And I say to him, I've never seen him do it. I keep saying I want to see that happen. You guys want to see something amazing? I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you will. This happened yesterday. This is slow motion squirrel jumping to the top of. That is so cool to me. Listen, I got to tell you something funny. Look at her back feet. Like when her back feet go to meet the table or to the edge of the right there. I showed my mom. To me, it's just amazing. Like I could look at that. Like I'm an idiot. All right, I could look at cat videos all day. I could waste 8 hours looking at cat videos. I showed my mom that. I said, "Isn't that amazing, Mom? Look at that." My mom goes, My mom doesn't like the fact that the cat jumps on things it probably shouldn't be jumping on. Listen, man, I've had like, I remember my mom coming to visit me once. I think I was married to my kid's mom, and she comes in the kitchen, and the cat's on the table, like on the counter. We didn't listen. I didn't have a problem with my cats. They can go anywhere they want. The house is their house, just like it's my house. So I'm not the guy who would shoo a cat off a table. I mean, if somebody else's house, if they don't do that, then the cat goes up and, hey, get off there. Like here, my mom doesn't let squirrel get on the counter. So if it jumps on the counter, I'm like, hey, knock it off, get it off. But when in my home, that cat could go anywhere it wanted. So my mom comes to visit and lost her mind that the cat was on the counter. She's like, "The cat's dirty." I'm like, "Hey, you're dirty. Like, what are you talking about? My cat's dirty. She lives here. You're. That's how my cat sees it." I love my mom. You have to understand, I do. I just freak my mom out. She's trying to figure out how to deal with me, but she's been trying to figure out how to deal with me for a really long time. Jen Marie, it sounds like a challenge. I'll now influx your email with cat videos. You have no idea. Listen, you have to ask Tommy. This is true. I send him cat videos every day, at least 5 or 6 a day. And I've seen some amazing ones that are just so amazing. But I don't know. Like that video I just showed you, that's like the kind of cat video I watch. Just watching slow motion, cats yawning or cleaning themselves up. Here's the weird thing. I'm like that with dogs too. I love dogs. Cats are evil, says Tracy. They are. Here's the thing though. Everything that people that don't like cats will give you a list of stuff of reasons they don't like cats, and those are the very reasons I love cats. Do you know what I mean? It's true. I used to drive a Porsche, a beautiful car. My kid's mom at the time, we were going to dinner one night, and she had never driven it. She's like, "Can I drive your car?" I said, "Sure." I wanted her to drive. I was stoked. I'm like, "Yeah, you know where we're going." So immediately she has a problem with it because the keys go on the left. So that I'm like, no, it doesn't go there. It's on the other side. So she's looking. She was already she had a problem with it. But it's super low to the ground. The engine is behind you. It was air cooled, not water cooled. So it sounded like a race car, especially inside the thing. It was just ridiculous how loud it was. Super stiff. The clutch, it was very hard to push the clutch in. You felt every bump. So we get there to the restaurant, and she hands me the keys, and she has a disgusted look on her face. I said, "What's wrong?" I said, "What do you think of the car? I mean, she goes, "It's fast." I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "But the clutch is stiff. It's so low to the ground. The ride is rough. It's super loud." I went, "Yeah." You know, I'm like that though. Everybody, the people, you guys that love me, the reason, if you made a list of the reasons you like me, the people who hate me would be the same list. Same stuff. I have no idea what we're talking about, Armando. I think we were talking about cats for a while. Yohanan, Masashi. Musashi, good to see you. She's talking to Jason, but good to see you. Thanks for being here. Super hot vegan. There's my vegan. Ladies, men who prefer and love cats tell you much about a man. Dogs are easy, cats are complicated. You know what? Tommy has a friend who says, shouldn't even tell you. It's bad. I'm not gonna tell you. Says that never trust a man. If any guy that's a cat guy, never trust him because they'll run around on you. They're never faithful. That's crazy. Tommy, speaking of where is, you know what? If I start a chant, I bet I can get Tommy to come out here. Think I can? No, I don't want to do it because it's embarrassing. I would have to sing it. I don't want to sing it really loud because my neighbors could hear me. But he is the comeback king. No two ways about it. I love cats. I have 3 black cats: Apollo, Lord Beerus, and Lord Champa. I had a black cat that was amazing. Oh, it was so good. His name was Josh. My son named him. At the time, my son was watching a video. He's a little boy. And the main character in this video is a little kid. And it's a cartoon, I think. Maybe not. I'm not even sure. But main character's name was Josh. So we got a cat. He wanted to name it Josh. And this cat was a trip. Wicked athletic. it would where it was black. It had one, and when I tell you a couple of hairs, it wasn't even a spot. It was like 3 or 4 individual white hairs right at the base of his stuff. Other than that, it was jet black. And we had this red bandana, and we put it on him. And I mean, super loose. It was just any other cat in the world would have it on for 2 seconds, then would just get it off. He loved this thing on him. He was big, long, and slinky, but big. And he would put this thing. We'd put it on him in the morning. He'd wear it all day long, and by morning it'd be off. And he would bring it to you. He was great. He'd bring you put it out. He'd put it out, and he'd walk off. Super cool cat, but he was wick athletic. He would jump from the ground to the top of the entertainment center, and it was, I mean, from the ground, he was amazing. And he ran away. He ran away one day, and it was really sad because the kids were really bummed out about it. I have 3 kids, and they were all really, at the time they were probably 10, no, probably 8, 4, and 2. Okay, so they were little. About 6 months go by. They got over the cat. And one day I'm out front, and I look at the end of the drive, and there is a black cat. I went, nah. I went, Josh, like that. And the cat didn't like come my way. It ran like he thought I had a plate of tuna fish for it. It ran to me. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. So it flops down. You know, the cats do that affectionate flop down and throw their feet up thing. I was like, oh my God, Josh is back. So I went over and picked it up. It was super skinny. It lost, it was just very, very light. I walk inside. I said, honey, Josh is back. And I'm holding him. And my wife and my kid's mom comes to the top of the stairs. Are you sure? I said, yeah, look at him. And Josh was a male, but he was fixed. So I grabbed his cat. I hold him like this. I look between his legs, and he had a little furry pair of raisins. And it wasn't my son, my cat. All of a sudden, I'm holding this cat, juggling his junk. He has junk. He shouldn't have junk at all. It wasn't my cat. And I'm holding this cat, realizing that this cat's not my cat. Thank God. 2 of my kids didn't even see it. My oldest saw the whole thing, and he was bummed out for a second, but my 2 youngest didn't even see that, or they would have been destroyed by it. But I let him down, and the cat took off running. But that was crazy. I'm a cat guy. All right, Lego asks, who's a better cat, Garfield or Heathcliff? I say Heathcliff. I don't know, man. It's a tough one. I'm not sure. I don't know if you want to take sides on that one. Got to run. You're all awesome. Henny, I hope you have a great day. Seriously, thanks for being here. Dances with comic books is smiling with tears in his face. There's Bob. Auto Bob. Different topic for a second. Just ordered some Johnny Mints from Harvest 912. Habanero heat is my limit. Hope I can handle the heat of them. They're warm, dude. Let me tell you something. They got some heat to them. They do. In fact, wow, you know what? My computer is getting hot. I can't do this for too much longer, you guys. Another 5 minutes or so, and I'm going to have to stop this thing. But if Chad is still in the chat, Chad Matthews, hi Charlie, good to see you, bro. Chad Matthews has tried them. He sent me a text. Brock Bandy, good to see you. Dizzy Dragon, good to see you. He sent me a text. He went, dude, those mints are hot. So if you're at habanero level, it's going to push you. It is. It's going to push you. But they're wicked tasty, and they're absolutely stunning looking. They look just like, they're just amazing. Luca, good to see you. Christopher Kelly is saying, I miss Heathcliff. Get it? Dogs have owners, cats have staff. Bella Lugosi says, I love it. Bela Lugosi, one of the great horror greats of all time. If your name is Bela Lugosi, you're going to get into horror. You just are. There's something to that. Here's the thing. I don't know. To me, you know what? I do love dogs. I got to say this carefully because dog lovers are going to hate me for saying this. But to me, if you earn a relationship with a cat, you know what I mean? I have a friend named, his last name is Berger. I don't remember his first name. Last name was Berger. Great guy. He had 13 cats that were all feral. His wife, every time his wife saw a feral cat, she'd take it in. It got to the point where I think feral cats were just showing up at their crib because they knew they had a place. The husband finally had to put his foot down and say, no more cats. But they were all feral. And I would hang out with this guy. I went through a period of time for about 2 years because he was the investor in a company I was running. I was friends with him the entire time. I was running the company, and I was leaving. I didn't know he was an investor in the company. He just became friends because he was at the office. And he's just a cool dude. And when I left, it cratered the company. And I remember being in his house. I didn't know he was an investor. And I said to him, dude, I got to split. It's going to kill him, but I can't stay. It's killing me. He goes, you got to go then. And I didn't know he was an investor. I said, it's going to bury the company. He goes, it probably will. Just because of the amount of time, that amount of money they're going to lose in such a short period of time compared to the amount of time it was going to take somebody to get somebody to the point where they could run it, it would be a problem. Or if you had to hire somebody who knew right away, it was just going to, they couldn't handle it. So knowing that, he still said, you got to leave. I loved that guy. But anyway, his cats were all, it took such a long time. It took such a long time before I even saw the 13th cat. But it took forever before I was able to pet them all. But to me, those relationships were so earned. And a dog, it's like, I would never, I love all animals. But if you smack the dog, like people that have animals, a lot of times they'll smack them with a rolled up newspaper. The next day, if you go, the dog's going to come back to you wagging its tail. Smack a cat. I mean, don't. But if you smack the cat like that, you won't be in the same room with that cat again. Forget being its friend and, enjoying a relationship with that animal. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? I love cats. There you go. Super Hot Vegan says, yes, well put. You earned that bonding relationship. I spoil my cats, and I love that they're so particular and complicated. They're all different and weird. They can get their feelings hurt. People don't. I had this conversation with my mom. If you have a cat, sometimes every once in a while, a cat will slip, like miss their footing or slide off the edge or something. I've seen. If you've had cats, you know what I'm talking about. And if you laugh at a cat, I know you may think I'm nuts, but if you laugh at a cat, you can hurt its feelings, and it will alter the relationship of you and that cat for a period of time, and you will have to earn that back. I'm not joking with you. I swear to God, I'm telling you the truth. Rob the Drummer, hey man, love your content. I'm definitely not a chili, but I find interest in wisdom, and which I value in your content. Thank you. I can also tell you're a genuine good guy. Thanks for being you. Man, that's an awfully kind thing to say. I wish you were here. We could make some music. I assume you're a drummer. I love my weirdo tuxedo cat babies. Yeah, there's something, Jen Marie. Hello, everyone, says Shelly. Hello, Shelly. Glad you're here. Thank you for being here. Don't hate on Dog Scoville. Charlotte Levins. I don't hate on dogs. I love dogs. I really, really do. I mean, listen. In fact, when I started the channel, I had a dog. I had one of the greatest dogs. He was so amazing. His name was Boss. He was an Australian cattle dog. He was brilliant. You have no idea how smart that dog was. He was smarter than I was. One day we were on the back porch, and I was sitting. I had a tennis ball, and I was throwing it. It was playing catch. It loved to do stuff. It loved to do stuff. It loved to learn new things. So I had the ball, and I sat him down. I said, stay. Boss, stay. And I threw the ball, and he looked at me. I swear, this is exactly how the whole thing went. I'm going to go get it. And I took off and got the ball. I brought it back. And I'm like, good boy, Boss. I'm super, I had snacks to give him. And he just loved doing this. So within a minute, we did that 3 or 4 more times. And then I threw the ball. And as he was going to get it, I said, stop. And he stopped and looked at me. I said, go get it. And we would do that. And it got to the point where I would throw the ball really fast. He'd get 5 feet from me. I'd say, stop. And he would hit the brakes and stand there and look at me and wait for the ball to stop moving. And I'd say, go get it. So my ex-wife, I can call her that. My ex-wife comes out and sits down. And I said, you got to check this out. So he did that. And then her son came out. I said, hey, when did you teach Boss how to do this? He goes, I didn't teach Boss how to do that. He just learned that on the spot, just with me. But you would have thought that that was something he had already learned. But he was learning that on the fly. I love dogs. I do. I just appreciate the relationship of a cat more. That's all. Have I guess? I'm just quick like that. I'm a quick study there, Rob the Drummer. I have a special affinity for tuxedo and cow kittens and all black kittens. But I love, yeah, one with cats. Here's the thing. I love all, if I've seen dog people. Like I know, and I love dogs, but I'm not a dog person. Don't hate. I love dogs. But I've had friends that are dog people, and they could not see a dog where they wouldn't stop and just find every dog they see just enthralling and amazing and beautiful. And I get it. I get it completely because I am that way with cats. Like when you see a cat, I saw one a picture recently of a cat. It's an old cat. I would bet it's a male, but it's this old cat. And I mean, half its ear is missing. One eye is cloudy. He's got hair missing on his face, scars all over the place. But I looked at that and just like, just love that animal. It's like I can't see a picture of a cat and not just like, if you want to stop me, whatever I'm doing, just show me a picture of a cat. I don't care what's going on. I want to stop and look at the picture. Tommy's the same way. He's been in the middle of something bad going. I say, hey, look at this. And he's like, oh, yeah. So I don't know. Cats are pretty special. Always had a kitty in my life, says Shelly. The only time I didn't, like as far as pets, if I had a pet, it was always a cat, except when I was married to my ex-wife and it was a dog. But I got puppy clothes. I was at work one day. This is back the last job I had before I quit. When I had I was working this job when I started the channel. I fired my boss from that job. But I was at the job one day, and these people that worked for me that were off a shift happened to drive by. And they came in and they had this puppy, and he was this big, and he was just, I was like, it was just amazing. And my ex-wife worked for me. That's how I met her. She worked for me. And she was there. And she says, come on, we got to take him. I said, I don't want a dog. Please, no. No. And she said, please. I said, he's going to grow up and be a dog. And she won, and he was a great animal. I loved him. Now, can I tell you something? I miss her, the dog, more than I miss her. Way more. That was one of the hardest things about that whole split was I lost my dog. That was tough. Thanks for being an inspiration to my sister and I, says Steve M. Thank you, Steve M, for saying that. Boy, my battery is getting really low. But you know what? I'm hiding behind a pillar, and the computer's cooler now. And let me see how much time I have before this thing tanks. They say I have 30 more minutes. So I'll tell you what, we'll talk for like another 15, and then we'll have to pull the plug on this thing. I'd rather say goodbye than be mid-sentence and have the screen go black. That's awful. Rob the drummer has Boston Terriers and pugs. They're great dogs. I love. There's no dog that I don't like. I like all dogs, but I'm more like Bree has a dog. It's a Staffordshire Terrier. It's a trip. It's the craziest dog. His name is Mango. They got it from somebody. It was his name was the dog's name was Tango, but they wanted to name it. They want to come up with a name, but they didn't want to confuse the dog. So I said, how about Mango? So they love the name, so they call it Mango. This dog didn't skip a beat. It's perfect. Dog's name is Mango. But here's the thing about her dog. I don't know if I should do this and say this. Bree, are you in the chat? Let me just check and see if Bree's watching. I don't think she'd be upset if I told you guys. Nah, she wouldn't be upset. Her dog's a hermaphrodite. There, it's out there. It's out in the ether now. Her dog's a hermaphrodite. He's, I always say she's a good boy. It's a funny dog. I don't know if it acts more male or female. We kind of refer to it as a girl. She's a good girl, but she's got them both. She's got both parts. That's all there is to it. But her name is Mango, and it looks, she's just a miniature. It looks just like a miniature pit bull. My son and I rescued a pit bull named Fonzie. Some people have been with the channel for a long time will remember Fonzie. Fonzie was a pit bull, just an amazing creature. Oh, God, what a great dog he was. He has a great home now, which is really, really cool. But she just looks like a miniature version of him. And she is a good boy. She's a good boy. She's a good dog, though. I gotta tell everybody that I told. I tell Bree that I told everybody about her dog's bits and goods. There are so many mixed breed dogs in shelters that need homes. Yeah, you know what? Here's the crazy thing. You'll look at dogs that I can't even look. Here's the thing. I can't look at a rescue place because I'm going to end up with a dog or a cat, and then it's a problem because I'm here for a while until I go to Australia, and I can't have another cat here. It would be a problem. But I'll tell you what, you have no idea how badly this animal that we have, squirrel, needs a cat friend. I'm not joking. The last last night wasn't as bad, but the 2 nights before, I'm telling you, from 3 o'clock in the morning to about 6, the cat is making noise like it's its job. I mean, emphatic, like it's like, and I'll tell you, thank God she's so cute and sweet and wonderful during the daytime. Because if she wasn't, we'd like barbecue her and eat her for dinner. She's an amazing cat, and I love her. But boy, in the middle of the night, she is a problem. Johnny, when are we going? When are we going to Australia? Hopefully, really soon, Jen. Here's the deal. Here's why I'm not. I haven't talked about this in a while, but you may be wondering why I'm not. I got a DWI, about 5 years ago. Okay. Now, it was not a car accident. It was stupid. I got the DWI. Pled guilty. I didn't ask to have it expunged or anything, but it was expunged. It's not on my record. It does not appear. I have already been to Australia. Been there already. Love the place. They love me. Just getting ready to go. My last trip, right after I fell in love with Bree, we're getting ready to head over there and going to get my visa. It says on there, have you ever been convicted have you had any convictions? Now, the previous time, I didn't need to say anything because I hadn't been convicted yet. I had already been arrested, but it had not gone to court. So when I went the previous time, I didn't have anything. I said no. Well, it said, have you ever been convicted? And it said, even if it's been expunged, you have to tell us about it. So as I was filling out, I remember sitting there in the moment thinking, because the Johnny Scoville like 10 years ago was just like, nah, what are you talking about? I didn't get arrested for anything. I'd be there right now if I had done that, by the way. But I didn't want to lie. I'm trying to be a stand-up dude, you know. I didn't think it would be this much of a problem. So I said, yeah, I told him the whole story. So even though it's expunged, that's holding me up. If you Google this is the truth. The only thing that's going to stop you from going to Australia is if you are a felon. I am not. It was not a felony DWI. It was a misdemeanor. I have so if you're a felony, you can't go over there. I'm not. Or if you spent 120 or maybe it's 160 days in jail. I have not. Those are the only two things that are going to prevent you from going to Australia. But so I'm none of those things. So a holdup of something that's not even on my record anymore is holding up somebody who isn't disqualified anyway. I've had people, you have no idea the strings I've had people pull. Tad from Harvest 912 knows somebody who for 20 years worked in the Australian government, a big shot, and he's 80 something years old. I wrote him a beautiful letter. I didn't ask him to. Tad's just a wonderful guy. Wrote him a beautiful letter and said, you know, can you think you can help my friend Johnny? This is what the problem is. What a beautiful letter. The guy is a stand-up cat, lives in Australia, went there. And they said he was shut down. And they said, and he has a funny letter he wrote back, but so we get shut down. It's unbelievable. Here's the crazy thing. They love me there. The people in Australia love me there. I have a lot of people that love me there. There's people in this chat from Australia who love me there, right, Lego? It's a drag, you know what I mean? So I've got a letter from the producer of the show that I'm in, the reality show, saying, listen, we love Johnny, and the only thing Johnny loves more than peppers is the girl in your country. Will you please let him in? We'd like to film there. But you got to let him in. So I'm just going to hire an attorney I'm going to hire the attorney probably next month. And I don't anticipate it will take too long once you have an attorney that I've spent a lot of money on. And I know it is ironic, isn't it, Rob the drummer? It was originally started as a penal colony. Here's the crazy thing. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. Do you know what? More than likely, I'll probably start a business. I'll probably start a sauce company. I was thinking about starting Chase Tea Hot Sauce Oz Edition and start making hot sauce in Australia from locally grown ingredients. It will provide jobs. I'm not going to be a drain on the Australian economy. I'm going to help the Australian economy, but still, I don't get it. I don't get it. You watch. The minute I get an attorney, they'll be, oh yeah, come on over. Seriously, it's crazy. All right, so how's my thing looking? I am down to. Wow, this doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It just now says I have an hour and 30 minutes remaining, but there's this much of a sliver on my battery left. So something's not working. I don't know. This will make your relationship with Bree stronger. It sure will. Vegan. It's been a nightmare, man. She had video chatted with my dad. My dad died. She was, I asked her dad for permission to marry her, which was wicked cool because he died. But I had his permission. He was a good dude. Watched 2 pets of hers die. Sharky and her bird. Elmo was her bird. Not Elmo. I can't think of the name of her bird. Sorry. It's bad. I love Australian rock bands, the 12 Foot Ninja, the Chemival. Check them out if you haven't. Thank you, Rod the drummer. Australia has great music, you know that? Vegan, so the romantic obstacles you are going to overcome will be. Any screenwriters in the chat? You know what, Vegan? I'm writing a screenplay right now. I've written 14 already. I almost sold one. It was that close. You guys ever hear of I can't remember his name now. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't remember the guy's name. This is terrible. I'll think of it in a minute. He Francis Ford Coppola. I called him. I online. I looked up. I got him on the phone and pitched him a screenplay. And they want to hear what's a log line. It's a 24-word description. Boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl back, that kind of thing. So you got to come on how complicated and complex your story is. You got to shave it down to 24 words. And I've had, let me tell you something. Mark Cuban one day, I was on the phone with him one day, and he goes, "That's more than 24 words." He literally said that to me. Well, I don't like Mark Cuban. At any rate, I was on the phone with Francis Ford Coppola. I pitched him a screenplay. And he says, "That sounds interesting. Email it to me." I almost said, "Are you serious?" Because it was one of the first people who ever wanted to read something of mine. So I sent him a screenplay. And a week later, he said he wanted to option it. And an option is where you sign, it's the next step. It's the step right before you sell a screenplay. It's what it is you give them first right of sale. And I can't pitch anybody else that screenplay for a year. And he said he wanted to option it. I was like, yeah, you betcha. And he never did a thing. The year came and went. And I just don't think he wanted me to pitch anybody else on that. I don't think he ever really was interested in selling it and making it. But it was a fun screenplay. But I'm writing one right now about this whole experience of going from a dude who worked in a phone room to all of a sudden this is happening to me. But each time I'm writing it, I started writing it before the Netflix thing happened. So then the Netflix thing happens. And I'm like, I have to start all over because not over, but I have to readjust how I'm writing it. And then this happens. So I don't know how I'm going to put it together. But Shelly says, "You're a good dude, Johnny." Thank you for saying that. I try to be. Wasn't always that way. Tommy's good at that, I think. SG, he's better than he was yesterday. "I love dogs too," says Shell, "but cats have my heart." Me too. Boy, they really do. You should do a movie where Every actor has to eat peppers before each scene. Rod, the drummer. You know what? That's funny. Chili Klaus. Do you guys know who Chili Klaus is? Chili Klaus is a legend. It is saying that I have an hour left. Shocking. We'll see how long I can go. He is a legend, Chili legend. He did a video where he got an entire orchestra, professional orchestra, to get together. They played a piece, and then they all ate. I think it was a Reaper. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it was a Scorpion. But they all ate a super hot, picked up their instrument, and tried to play it to them. And it's an epic video. Epic. He did eat Pepper X, says David F. You bet he did. Shane Graham just dropping by to say hello, Johnny. Much love and continued success. Thank you, Shane. I appreciate you for saying that. Always strive to be better than yesterday. Well, that's true. Keep moving forward. That's good advice, Shelley. Who will play Johnny in the Johnny Scoville movie based on your screenplay? You know what? I don't know. It's really I don't know. I don't know. I don't even think like that. I just kind of write it. And it's funny. This is different. This is the first. This is different than anything else I've ever written because this is something. There's parts of me in every screenplay, every single protagonist, every single person in every screenplay, in every character. There's a little piece of me in all of them. But what happens with me anyway, this may sound weird to you, but when I write a screenplay, if I've developed the characters well, here's how I know if I'm writing a good screenplay. Very quickly, because I have an idea of what I want the screenplay to be, but very quickly, if the characters are developed well, they sort of tell me what they would say. So all I have to do is come up with a situation, and the characters sort of write it for me. And that sounds really ridiculous, but I've had screenplays that just wrote themselves. I just had to sit at the keyboard and kind of like referee the thing for real. Like what would he say at this point? There's no way he'd say anything but this. And it's like because the characters have personality. You know what I mean? So that's why this is different because this is I don't know. It's in a sense I think it's easier, but because things keep changing, I don't know where to stop it. See, the thing has to have an end at some point because things are going the way they're going. It alters how I write it. I don't know. It's weird. John Malkovich. I love John Malkovich. John Malkovich could play Johnny. Someday someone's going to walk up to John Malkovich and say, you look like, are you Johnny Scoville? The guy that eats peppers? Can you imagine? I tell the story a lot. I've told this a bunch. It's funny as can be. I was in LaGuardia in New York for a chili festival. I was standing at the turnstiles, like waiting for my luggage. Stuff's going around. And there's this guy there. Probably my dad's age, an older dude. He's standing there and he looks to me, looks to the left and he sees me. I can see him eyeing me. I can tell he's looking at me. And he kind of moves closer. And I can tell he's trying to say something. He leans this way, but he doesn't want to look right at me. But he leans this way. He's talking to me and he goes, are you growing the beard and the goatee for a role? I said, excuse me? He goes, are you growing the goatee for a role, movie role? I said, no. He goes, you're John Malkovich, right? I said, no, John Scoville. He shook his hand. It was funny as could be. That was a funny one. Goldberg can play me, right, SG? You know what? I did the video with Ryback. We were going to do a Goldberg skit. Because forever, since I started the channel, people said I looked like Goldberg. And obviously, Ryback knew that I looked like Goldberg. So if you haven't seen the video, you got to go watch the video of Ryback and me. And Johnny Jr. was there too. That was super fun. Right before I went down to see Ryback, that fool, let me tell you something. That guy is a stone cold savage. He ate a tube of terror in a 110-degree hot tub on a 115-degree day without prepping in Vegas. On video. That was But anyway, he was super fun. He was a good guy. How about Rob Halford, right? I love Rob Halford. Always have. Box to box, the lake, getting ready to eat a red Primatalia left over from last year. How do you have a Primatalia left over from last year? That's amazing to me. Oh, wish I could have one with you. Paul says, Johnny, compare the cheese balls to one chip challenge. Trying to gauge how hot it's going to be. Cheese balls or the 6 hot ball challenge? If you're just talking about a bag of the crack balls, you're fine. They're not that bad. They're snackable. It's a snackable snack. It's not a challenge. However, Paul, if you are referring to 6 hot balls, then I think I would say that 6 hot balls is probably harder because the one chip, you just eat one chip. It's done and dusted. Then you got to sit there and ride it out. The 6 hot balls, they start hot. The first 2 are hot. So it's a longer challenge. You can't just eat it and you can eat the one chip challenge. You can have that thing chewed up and swallowed inside of 30 seconds. You know what I mean? And you get 1 minute per cheese ball. You know what I mean? The first 2 are hot, the middle 2 are hotter, and the last 2 are really hot. So I would say the 6 hot balls is probably hotter. Just a guess. Christopher Kelly, Johnny, why is it so hard for a person to get started on their book? I don't know. I don't know, Christopher Kelly. I love writing. I took a writing class in college with a professor named Tony Magistral. I remember him still, the great guy. Creative writing. I took it because my sister had taken it and said he was amazing. So I took the class, and I just loved the dude. The senior class final was, he said, when the day he was going to talk about the final, we showed up. He goes, "Here's the final. There is no final." I'm like, I like where this is going. You had me if there's no final. He goes, "Here's what we're going to do. We're all going to go out drinking. If you go with me, you'll get an A on the final. If you don't go with me, it doesn't hurt you, but you just don't get an A for the final." I'm like, I do believe I'll be getting an A for the final. So I went out. I got into a fight that night. Which scar was it? One of the scars on my eye. I got hit in the. No, you know what? It was my hand. I got into a fight and hit a guy. I had to stitch my hand up by myself with the fishing line because they didn't want to go to the doctor. But anyway, after that class was over, the following year, I took the class again. Same teacher. I showed up. He's like, "Dude, what are you doing here? You got a great score last semester. You took me last semester." I said, "No, I had a ball. I have an elector. I want to write some more." He's like, "Okay." So the point of me telling you that is I love writing. So I think if you like writing, and if you see, I pretty much write like I talk. Some people have a difficult time getting on paper what they think in their head or what they're able to say verbally. Sometimes have trouble. People don't even talk about it. They just go right from their mind onto paper. Some people talk it out. You know what I mean? But I'm kind of good at either one of those. I like writing. My first video. You want to hear something funny? I had a article or something I wrote that was published in a newspaper when I was in. It was either 4th or 5th grade. I wrote something in the newspaper. I don't even know how they got it. I guess my mom must have done it. I was a kid. I don't know anything. But it was a story I wrote about the first day of school. And it was apparently set in the way future and getting ready to leave to go to school. Before I took off, I ate some power pills and flew to school. But enough power pills to get me through the day. That was my mindset in grade school. Think about that. That's kind of scary, isn't it? Ends up being an addict. Makes sense. But I flew to school, and it was kind of a futuristic story, and it got published. So I've always sort of liked writing. So here's the best thing you can do is start. If you want to write, Christopher, and you're having trouble writing, just start writing something. You know what I mean? And usually it'll come. I usually would have 2 or 3 different projects I'd be writing all at the same time. So if I get jammed up on one, I'd move to a different project. You know what I mean? It's like I'd write 2 different screenplays at the same time. All right. And if I get to a spot where I would never have a hard time with the characters writing dialogue. I would have a hard time with what to do, where to take the story next. So if I get to a spot where I'm having a creative block, I would bounce to a different screenplay and work on that one. And then what I found when I would do that is it would be really, really easy. Once I got jammed up on one, for some reason, I would be unjammed on the other. And the minute I got jammed up on the second one I was working on, when I went back to the one that I had been jammed on, for some reason, I was able to flow. I kind of felt like I knew exactly where to go with it. So it's kind of my approach. Can't turn it up. I wish I could, Mike. And I don't think there's anything I can do about that. Any word on the test of the experience? Yeah, Joe Spivey. Got it in my room. Got it from them a week ago. Here's the thing. When they called me, the lab called me on the phone a week and a half ago, and they said, we got the test done. I said, I don't want to know. He goes, well, I don't have the results in front of me. I'm just telling you they're done. I'm like, good. I didn't want to know. And he's a really good guy. I like the guy. He's a super nice guy. But anyway, I said, I want to know. I said, send it to me along with the bottle, the empty bottle, whatever's left. So I got it. I'm leaving it sealed. The other lab has I don't know if they have their bottle or they're getting it Monday or Tuesday this week, but it's been ordered. So they're going to get the bottle. By the way, you know what else I did? I haven't talked about this until now. Since we're discussing hot stuff, we've never really tested some of the, we're going to test our hottest sauce, Chase the Heat's hottest sauce, which is Painfully Scorpion. So I want to see how Painfully Scorpion ranks in. Someone in a comment, either on First We Feast page, or I'm not sure if it was YouTube or their Instagram or their Facebook, but somebody made the comment that they thought CTH3 was hotter than Experience. So I kind of want to get them all tested. So within a week, I would say within a week and a half, I will have the bottle back from the second lab. So we'll have two different labs independently testing the same sauce from the same company. And what happens is the cat's hanging on the door like this. Hey, squirrel. I can't get you, dude. I'm in a video. Sorry. Get down. Get down. There you go. Have I had the JP Piranha Pepper? I have, Travis. I ate that in the reality show. The next Lennon, Johnny. I know you're a daredevil. I am not. So here's my dare. Let me read it in my head first. Oh, sure. Daily do it. You know what? Here's the thing. We're actually going to do that. My brother and I are going to do a cold water deal. All right. Wim Hof, if you guys know who Wim Hof is, the guy is an absolute beast and a legend. But in our pool, the temperature is it's really where you need to be to do Wim Hof. And last week I went in the pool for 10 minutes. And listen, let me tell you something. For about 30 seconds, it felt like it wasn't just cold, it hurt. It felt like razor blades were going through me. It was terrible. But yeah, we'll do that. I'm going to do a video series, and we're going to get to the point where we can do that. I got a pool in the backyard. I tested it last week. When I did it about a week and a half ago, I was in for 10 minutes. Oh, no. You know what? I lied to you. I was only in for 5 minutes. I didn't mean to lie. I was only in for 5 minutes, and that was all I could take. But the temperature that day was 52 degrees, which is pretty chilly. I don't know what the Scoville is on the JP Piranha. I'm not quite sure, box to box. Doom is a scorcher. Boy, isn't it, Paul? Wicked scorcher. Cold water is great for mental health, Joe Spivey says. Listen, I was in Russia for a month, in Siberia, long time ago. I'm not going to date myself. Doesn't matter, I'm old. But it was a long time ago. And the place I was at had no hot water. So it was cold showers. Now, that wasn't so bad because it was the first time I went there, it was in July. So it really wasn't that bad because it was hot as can be. So the cold showers, good jump start to the day, but it wasn't quite the nightmare that it could have been, And this was in a city called Omsk, which is the capital city of Siberia. Well, I went back to that city 2 years after the first visit, and I went there in February. If you want cold, you need to visit Central Siberia, Russia, in February. It's the coldest I've ever been. There was one day, it's ingrained in my head. We were outside in a parking lot, and this guy, it was weird. You're looking outside, and you breathe, and it was really cold. You'd see your breath. There'd be clouds of people. They'd linger so long, it was absurd. How long it was, like noon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. No wind whatsoever. no clouds in the sky, sun's out, and it was 40, 35 or 40 below. It was insane how cold. You can take boiling water, put it in a cup, go outside, throw it up in the air, and it crystallizes and turns into like, it's a beautiful thing to see. But I don't really dig so cold. When I went back and we had to take cold showers in the February, that was a different story. You know what I mean? Every morning it was awful. Man, get really creative. You'd stand back and throw water on you and try to warm it on you. It was like, I can't begin to tell you how bad it was. Like, really, it's terrible. I don't know. I have a friend who I've known forever, and every day she ends every shower with like a minute of just cold water, no hot water at all. So that's how she ends every shower. I'm like, I can't do that. Here's the thing. I don't like showering that way, but jumping into it, like I jumped into a lake in like a year ago, right about now, a year ago. Was it now? Somebody may remember. I was with Foy at a lake. College Boy was there. Anybody remember that? That was a lake in January, I think, in northern North Carolina. So it was pretty cold, but Bella Lugosi. Even Siberia goes through emotions. Johnny's Mints, Neophyter. Thank you so much, Neophyter. Those mints are really, really cool. You know what I wonder? I shouldn't even say this. I'm not going to say it. I've spent between negative 45 and negative 50 all week. And, gee, that's brutal. Honestly. I grew up in Vermont. Tommy and I grew up in Vermont. So we're not a stranger to cold weather, but 45, 50 for a week. I remember when I was married to my kid's mom, we lived in Rockford, Illinois. And we moved on January 1st. Listen, if you're planning on moving, a good thing to remember, don't move January 1st. That's not a good time of the year to move. But that's when we had to because of the way things kind of worked out. But the previous month, the month of December, it rose above zero 2 times the entire month. The whole month. It was terrible. I remember I said to her, I got to get out of here. The lake effect, even though we were in Rockford, way north of Chicago, that lake effect still affected the weather in Chicago big time. Johnny, it's 9 degrees here, wind chill in the minus. Jeez, that's cold next Lennon. It's cold in Kentucky, says Ashley and Charlie. I'm spoiled, man. You have no idea how beautiful it is right now. Where's my phone? I don't know where my phone is. Isn't that strange? I thought I had. Oh, I do. It's right here. I'm slipping, people. The temperature right now here where I am at, oh, you wouldn't believe it. I'm so spoiled. I didn't want to tell you because if you're in a cold place, you're going to be like, Johnny sucks. It is 21 degrees Celsius or 69 degrees Fahrenheit. That's crazy. Neophyter, thank you so much. You're so generous. Uncle Bull Cow's butterscotch bark stuff is one of the more delicious barks I've ever had. I remember you said no cursing. Did I curse? I don't think I cursed. Hope I didn't. Did somebody curse? Let's keep it friendly, people. Oh, I said it sucks. Yeah, that's not cursing. Hippie chick. 5 degrees, Chicago. You know what? It's just a brutal place. I'll tell you what, though. I really did like living in Rockford. Chicago's a great city. Like culturally, there's some great places in Chicago to go. You know what I mean? I really enjoyed Chicago for that. A couple great, really, really amazing restaurants in Chicago. A couple great museums, a great aquarium. Minus 29 in Colorado. Robbie, that's brutal, man. Minus 29. Travis, I'm a mail carrier, so it sucks being outside all day, but it's not as bad here in Pittsburgh as in other places. Yeah, that'd be a tough gig sometimes, Travis. Showing off, Johnny. Yeah, right, Shelly? It's cold here in Ohio all week. I got to wear my fleece pants. Sorry about that. Red's the best color. Any idea what's going on with Henry? I just had to read that because red's the best color. I love red. You know what? I get that a lot. You know what? My favorite color is I really like pink. Pink is like a I love the color pink, but I love the color black. And I've had people say it's not a color. I say, of course it is. Of course it is. I don't know. I think it is. Henry's under the weather. That's a drag. One in the chat for Henry. For real. I can't believe there is. If you, I should take a picture of my. You should see the picture of my battery. I can't believe. Here's the thing. At one point, it said I had 30 minutes left. Now it's telling me. Then it went to up to an hour, and now it's down to 46 minutes. I can't complain. But it can't be. 57 in South Carolina. Wow, it's pretty warm. It really is. Black, they say, is a shade, Hippie Chick says. You know what? I don't know about that. I don't know. You know, I don't know. To me, it's a beautiful. I love the color black. I think it's an amazing thing. Real men wear pink. Oh, I love the color pink. It really is one of my favorite colors, like black and pink. In fact, the first guitar I had that I really fell in love with was a custom made BC Rich. I ordered it like two order, and it was hot pink. It was really, really cool. My kid's mom. The only time I ever want to call her my ex is when I tell this story. She's still my kid's mom. I'm not going to be disrespectful. We were going through our. You know what? I didn't know the divorce was coming. By in retrospect, we were really close to the end. I just didn't realize it. And I went to work one day, and she told me she was having a garage sale. I had a PV amp. The amp was a PV, and it was a little. The amp wasn't worth much, and the guitar was worth more to what it meant to me. You ever see a guitar and the fingerboard is starting to be worn? Well, this one was because of me though. I didn't buy it like that. Like that was I really played it. Anyway, I came home from work one day, and she says she was cleaning up from a garage sale. And she said, I sold your guitar. I had two. I had an acoustic that I didn't really care if she sold, you know. And she said, I said, which one? She goes, the pink one. I almost, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. She says, I got $100 for it. And the money doesn't matter, but I spent a lot. I spent more than 10 times that to have it made. You know what I mean? So it wasn't really the money as much as that I lost that guitar. So I went over the next couple of days. I went to the pawn shop, every pawn shop in town. I couldn't find it there, so I put an ad because I figured somebody may have bought it and then sold it. I put an ad in the paper. I lived in Reno at the time, the Reno Gazette. And I put an ad that said, "My wife sold my guitar. I need it back. I'll pay you a lot more than what you paid for it." I never heard it. I paid for it for like 3 months, I think. Never heard it. And here's the weird thing. I saw the exact same guitar. Mine had a tremolo bar on it. I saw the exact same guitar, same body, same color, which I think they had to have been just purely just a custom shop order, but a custom order. But on Reverb one day, but it had a fixed bridge. And I thought for a second, did somebody buy that and take the tremolo off and put a fixed bridge on it? I almost bought it, but I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. You know why? Because I would have bought it and I wouldn't be playing it right now. It'd be under my bed. That's silly. Stacy says the absence of color black is all of the colors. You know, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to sound like an idiot. I vaguely remember being a kid and had the projector in some science class where they took every single color there was and they put them in front of this light like that, and it went black. Everything went black. But I'm not positive. I'd like to think that's what happened. I remember it vaguely like that. Royal purple is a badass color. Yes, it is. Purple is a gray color. Just purchase an ESP Milwaukee. What model did you get? ESP makes great guitars. That's for real. Here's the problem. The Strandberg ruined me for every other guitar, not because of the shape of it or the weight of it, which is part of it, but really the neck. If you play a Strandberg and you like the neck, once you get comfortable with that neck, you're done for other guitars. And that doesn't matter. You could pick up a guitar that Jimmy Page owned and you'd be like, yeah, that neck doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel right. So really, you gotta tell me before the. We're gonna end this in just a few minutes because that I don't even see a sliver on that battery anymore. It looks like there's no sliver on my battery. Man, it's still telling me I got. Ooh, I don't have much time. So you gotta tell me, purple's not color, unless you're a fighter. That's a fact, Rick Spicer. True. Body illusion is very beautiful. Oh, where Josh is. It's beautiful here, I'll tell you that. I'm waiting to see the color or the guitar that Balaki's getting. I have a really funny joke, but I don't know. I want to. It's kind of somebody would probably be offended if I say it. I probably should say. I shouldn't say it. Do you have any kids in the chat? Are there any kids in the chat right now? Like, what's the likelihood a kid's going to click on this and watch it to the end after the fact? An hour and 25 minutes. I wonder if I should tell this joke. It's sort of funny, but it's a little. It's rated PG for sure. It's a pretty funny joke. I'm going to tell about it. I still got an ESP 11 Eclipse. Ah, sweet. So isn't the Eclipse the Les Paul shape? I believe it is. I'm not positive, but I think it is. All right, so I'm going to end this with this joke, and I'm going to wrap it up. What is the difference between pink and purple? That would be the grip. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this was Chase the